It was another beautiful day in Pittsburgh. Since this happened to be a day when Pupstruction had no major projects or emergencies to work on, this was a perfect day for them to go on a camping trip together. Finney's dad, Harry, had taken Pupstruction camping before, and they had so much fun that they wanted to go on another one. This time, Bailey wanted to come with them after hearing how much fun they had, and Finney thought it would be even more fun if his mom Maya came with them as well. At this moment, the pups were playing with each other. Luna was happily giving Finney a piggyback ride, which got more intense when Luna started chasing her tail. Luckily, Finney was wise enough to hold on tightly as she did this. Finney's parents just watched the pups with delight. "Those pups sure are great friends," said Harry. "Indeed," said Maya. "It's so cute seeing Luna piggybacking our son like that. I should give him piggyback rides more often. In fact, I should give you rides too, Harry." Harry blinked. "You carry me, Maya?" "Of course," said Maya. "I am taller and stronger than you, so I won't have a problem." Maya then gave Mayor Gilmore a call just to verify that she had no projects or emergencies set for Pupstruction today. After getting the verification from her and Lloyd, Maya assembled the pups. "Okay, pups," she said. "Are we all ready to go camping?" "We sure are," Luna wagged. "We've all packed up and ready to go," said Tank. "We've all packed well in advance," added Roxy. "I also came up with a plan for all the tents we're going to build for us at the campground," said Finney as he pulled out his notepad. "Tank, your tent will have snack machines and lots of cuddly stuffed toys." You read me like a book, Finney," said Tank. Finney went on. "Luna, your tent will have lots of dirt in it. You know how much I love dirt," cheered Luna. "Roxy," Finney continued, "your tent will be pink and glittery. I also did my best to keep it as civilized for you as possible with comfy furniture and a TV. And of course plenty of light, because I know you're afraid of the dark." "You did put a lot of thought into that, Finn," said Roxy. "I like how you didn't overdo it too. I learned my lesson from last time." Finney went on. "My tent will be decorated with tools and have a super cozy bed. Bailey, you'll be bunking with me in my tent." Bailey happily wagged and licked Finney's mouth, in which Finney giggled. Then Finney concluded, "Mom and Dad, you'll have a nice big tent with a big mattress, plenty of books to read, and lots of windows." "You really thought this out well, Finney," said Harry. "That's my boy," said Maya with a little mist in her eye. Finney then said to his crew, "All right, crew, let's go camping." The pups all went to their stations and cheered, "It's Pupstruction time!" Do 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 do. We got a job to do. Come on, jump in, gear up. Can't stop those pups. Hello, it's gonna take some work, a lot of bark and a little growl. Let's build, create, create. Let's make something great. The plans are checked, all paws on deck. Pupstruction, get your jewel. We got a job to do. Do 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 do. We got a job to do. Let's crush this. We got a job to do. I dig it. Do 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 do. Ready to haul. Do 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 do. Crank it up. We got a job to do. We got a job to do. We got a job to do. Ah-ooh. The pups drove off to the campsite with their vehicles. Maya followed them in her helicopter with Harry and Bailey riding along with her. When they arrived at the campsite, everyone went right to work setting up camp. They set up all 5 tents just as Finney had planned it. "All right!" Tank cheered as he hauled in the supplies. Roxy picked up her hammer and cheered, "It's hammer time!" as she bolted down the tents. Finney cranked into place the parts for his dad's grill. "You're up, Luna!" Luna picked up a drill. "I know the drill, or rather, the grill," she giggled. Then she started drilling the grill together. "Drill, drill, 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 drill," she sang as she worked. Meanwhile, Harry and Maya were working together, hanging up a sign in a tree. Harry stood on Maya's shoulders as she stood on her hind legs, pressing herself up against the tree. Harry successfully got his sign hung up. "You're right, honey," said Harry. "You do come in handy." Maya chuckled and said, "You're lucky to have a wife as tall as me." Soon everyone was finished. The dogs all looked around, admiring the campsite. "Everything looks great," said Finney. "Great job, crew," said Maya. "So what shall we do now?" asked Roxy. Bailey jumped up and down, cheering, "Let's play! Let's play!" "I like the sound of that," said Luna, but then she saw her tail. "Oh, there you are, Mr. Tail. I'm gonna get you!" Everyone laughed as Luna chased her tail. Little did they know, someone was spying on them nearby. It was none other than Bobby Boots of Lickety Split. "What is Pupstruction doing here?" he moaned. "This is supposed to be our camp out." "Maybe they like camping too, boss," said Scratch. "Yeah, it's a lot of fun," added Sniff. "But we're the best at camping," yelled Bobby. "We gotta make sure they don't steal our thunder, 'cause we're gonna destroy their campsite." "Don't we always do that, boss?" asked Scratch. "Every time we do, they always find a way to fix it, 'cause they're so good," added Sniff. Bobby sighed. "You do have a point. We'll need to think of something better." "But what?" At the moment, he overheard a conversation at the pup's campsite and decided to listen in to see if it'll give him any ideas. "Hey, have you pups ever heard of the legend of Large Claw?" asked Roxy. "Large Claw? Who's that?" asked Finny. Roxy told the story. Large Claw is a big, hairy, bear-like creature with super big claws bigger than his own paws. He's said to be 8 feet tall and makes a super scary roar. He usually lurks in forests just like this one and comes out at night to feed on defenseless little pups. Tank gulped. "Like us?" "Yeah," said Roxy, "so you'd better stay in your tents tonight. Or—" "He's coming to get you!" Tank and Luna both screamed, and Bailey ran up on Finny for protection, crying as Tank did a security cling on Luna's back. Roxy laughed. "Don't worry, Large Claw is only a legend, and it's highly unlikely he'll show up here." Suddenly, a large, deep growl was heard. Bailey yelped and clanged onto Finny again. "Is that Large Claw?" Tank stammered. Little did they know, the growling was coming from Luna's stomach. She placed her paws on it and blushed. "Sorry, guess I'm a little hungry." Her stomach growled again. "I hear you, Mr. Tummy," she giggled. "We'll eat soon." Tank licked his chops and said, "Mr. Tummy's speaking my language. I can't wait to eat those yummy hot dogs." "It should be sundown soon," said Harry. "That's when I'll be starting up the grill." After hearing all the commotion, Bobby Boots now came up with a brilliant plan. "Large Claw, huh?" he pondered. "Scratch! Snips! Start gathering our junk. I know just how we're going to ruin their camp off." "Yes, boss," said Snip. "Right away, boss," said Scratch. Scratch and Snip brought over a bunch of junk to Bobby. "Here you go, boss," said Scratch. "But what are we going to do with it?" asked Snip. "Isn't it obvious?" said Bobby. "We're going to disguise ourselves as Large Claw and scare the bejeebies out of the pups." "Isn't that kind of mean?" asked Scratch. "Yeah," added Snip. "They're such nice doggies." "Do I look like I care?" asked Bobby. "We're the bad guys. We're supposed to be mean. Now start putting that costume together." Meanwhile, Harry was just about to start the barbecue, ready to put the coals on. "We're just about ready to start grilling these franks," he said. "This is my favorite part of camping," cried Tank. Suddenly, Finny heard some rustling in some nearby bushes. "Do you guys hear that?" he asked. "It's probably just the wind, Finny," said Maya. "Nothing to worry about." Then he heard more rustling, followed by some growls. "That wasn't the wind," he said. "There is definitely something over there." Everyone turned their attention to the bush the noises were coming from. "Sounds like some kind of animal," said Roxy. "I hope it's a friendly one," Tank gasped. "Maybe it is." However, Luna was proven wrong when a big bear-like monster with giant claws emerged from the bush and started growling ferociously. It was clearly Lickety-Split in disguise, with Bobby as the head, Scratch as the arms, and Sniff as the legs, but despite how poorly cheap their costume was, all the dogs still bought it and gasped in shock. "It's Large Claw!" Tank yelled. "So the legend is true!" Roxy said. "What are we gonna do?" Finny asked desperately. "Come on," Maya instructed. "Everyone get inside our tank and her tent, and quickly!" Maya led Harry to the pups in her tent, and they got in herself, zipping it up quickly. However, they didn't realize Bailey was still outside. She whimpered and cried for help. Bobby took advantage of this and had Sniff walk towards the defenseless Bailey, which Scratch scooped up alongside them to take her away. Meanwhile, in the tent, Maya did a head count to make sure everyone was here and accounted for, but then she realized someone was missing. "Oh no!" Finny shouted. "Bailey! She's still out there! Come on, crew, we gotta save her!" Finny and the others unzipped the tent to save Bailey, but they were too late. Lickety-Split had already dognapped her and took her away. "Bailey!" Finny shrieked. large claw took her away! The four pups all ran around, panicking, calling out Bailey's name. However, Maya put her foot down, putting all their panicking to a halt. Okay, everyone, calm down, she shouted. Everyone stopped and listened to Maya. I know we're all worried about Bailey, but panicking like that is not going to solve anything. We will save her, but we must remain calm. We will form a search party and follow her together. How are we going to do that? Asked Tank. This forest is so big she could be anywhere. Yeah, added Luna. How are we going to find Bailey in these woods? Aren't you forgetting something, Luna? We're dogs. We have an incredible sense of smell and hearing. We'll all stick together and keep our eyes, ears, and noses open for Bailey. Good thinking, Mom, said Finny. Don't worry, Bailey. We're coming for you. So the search party began and their search for Bailey. However, it wasn't long before they heard her crying for help. They followed the sound of her voice and got behind a bush. Finny was too short to see over the bush, so Luna boosted him up. The pups couldn't believe their eyes. Lickety-Split had kidnapped Bailey and were holding her hostage. Luna gasped. It's Lickety-Split! They tricked us into thinking they were Large Claws, said Tank. I should have known, said Finny. Are these the cats you keep telling me about who keep ruining your projects? Asked Maya. That's them, all right, answered Finny. They ruin our projects almost every single day, added Luna. But why? Asked Maya. Bobby's jealous of us, Finny explained. He wants to be the best builder in Pittsburgh. Well, ruining your work is certainly not the answer, said Maya. I think we should talk to them. Fat chance there, said Finny. Bobby is impossible to reason with. Finn's right, said Roxy. I think he needs a taste of his own medicine. Finny got off of Luna, and then he started scratching his chin. He said. Luna gasped. I know that anywhere. Sounds like Finny has a plan. What's the 411, Finn? Asked Roxy. Finny pulled out his notepad and a pencil and said, maybe we could get them a taste of their own medicine if we made another Large Claw costume for us to wear, but make it bigger and scarier. All right, said Roxy. I love where this is going. Finny then gave them instructions. Hank, you'll haul in the supplies we'll need for the disguise. Ready to haul, cheered Tank. Finny continued. Roxy, you'll patch the costume together. Let's crush this, cheered Roxy. Finny continued. Luna, you spray paint the costume. I dig it, cheered Luna. I'll crane the head and claws into place, said Finny, but that's not all. Mom, Dad, I'm going to need your help with this too. Harry blinked. You want us to be a part of this plan? How may we be of assistance, Finny? Asked Maya. This costume is going to be too big for just me and the crew, Finny explained, so that's why you'll be wearing it with us. You two will stand at the bottom of the stack, giving us the height we need. What a clever idea, said Harry. Count us in, son, said Maya. All right, crew, said Finny. Let's crank it up. Then the pups started putting their costume together. Whoa, 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 it's time to build. Whoa, 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 it's time to build. We're coming to help and we know that we can. It's time to build. Bailey needs our help and we've got a plan. It's time to build. We're not gonna stop except for a retreat. We'll work till our cause is complete. Our furry crew has got the skills. It's time to build. Whoa, whoa, whoa. It's time to build. Whoa, whoa, whoa. It's time to build. It's time to build. When the costume was completed, the 6 dogs were ready to put it on. They stacked up on one another. Finny was at the top, followed by Roxy underneath him, then Luna, then Tank, then Harry, and finally on the bottom, Maya. They put their costume on. This costume looks so incredible, said Finny. Good job, crew. We look so awesome, said Roxy. Lickety-Split is sure to get scared of this, said Luna. I know I would, said Tank. This is incredible, Finny, said Harry. I never thought your mother and I would help your pups with something like this. At that moment, their costume was all done up. Finny then said to Maya, Okay, Mom, carry us back over to those cats and let's save Bailey. You got it, son, said Maya. Hang on tight, everyone. Maya started slowly walking back to where Lickety-Split was. All 6 dogs did their best to stay balanced. Meanwhile, Lickety-Split was still holding Bailey hostage. Ha! We did it, said Bobby. Pupstruction would never find Finny's little sister. Now let's start building our camp. It's gonna be way better than theirs. Bailey was crying, not knowing what to do. Scratch and Sniff couldn't help but feel sympathetic for her. "Don't you think we should let her go, boss?" asked Scratch. "Not a chance," snapped Bobby. "But I don't like to see children cry," said Sniff. "That's none of my concern," said Bobby. "Now shut up and start building. I'm gonna go take a nap while you guys work." Just then, they heard some loud footsteps. "What's that?" Scratch asked, scared. "It might be a monster," said Sniff. "Probably just some trees falling," said Bobby nonchalantly. Suddenly, out from behind the bushes and trees came a towering beast. It was Finny and the gang in their disguise, but to lickety-split, it was Large Claw. Finny roared as Roxy spread out the claws and Maya stomped her feet. "A monster!" Sniff shouted. "It's the real Large Claw!" shouted Scratch. Bobby's jaw dropped. "You're right, it is! Let's get out of here!" Bobby ran back to the truck, taking Scratch and Sniff with them. "What about Bailey?" asked Scratch. "Forget her," said Bobby, starting up the truck. "Our 27 lives are more important than her one life." With that, they zoomed out of the forest, leaving Bailey once again defenseless against who she thought was the real Large Claw. Soon, the dogs stopped their charade, and Finny took out the mask and said, "Hi, Bailey." Bailey gasped, "Finny!" The crew unzipped the costume, revealing everyone else underneath. "Yay, you saved me!" Bailey cheered, wagging her tail. Harry and Maya were very happy to have helped Pupstruction with this plan of theirs. Of course, they would go to these great lengths to save their daughter. Now that the act was over, the team disassembled and untied Bailey. "Everything's okay now, sis," said Finny. Bailey licked Finny's face. "Aw, she's so precious," Tank cooed. "Come on, everyone," said Harry. "Let's head back to camp." The dogs returned to the campsite. As soon as they arrived back, they heard another deep growling noise. "Uh-oh," said Tank. "Could that be another monster?" Maya heard the sound too. Little did the pups know, the growls were coming from the mother Dalmatian's stomach. It growled again, and realizing the noise was coming from her, she said, "Whoa, gee, my stomach's growling." Finny giggled. "Sounds like Mom's worked up an appetite." "Sounds like it." "It sounds like me," said Tank. "You're always hungry, Tank," said Roxy. I almost forgot about the hot dogs," said Harry. "Guess I better start grilling them now." "I sure am lucky to be married to the best pet in all of Pittsburgh," said Maya. Harry blushed. "Thanks, honey. I'm also lucky to have a wife who's taller and stronger than me, and also very generous." Maya was flattered by Harry's words, so she smiled and gave him a hug. "Those two were meant to be," said Luna with a smile. At that point, Harry got right to work on the hot dogs without any further delay. Fortunately, they didn't take long to cook, and he served them to everyone. "Bon appetit," he said. Tank licked his lips and said, "You have no idea how long I've waited for this." Then he chomped down on his hot dog. Before Luna ate hers, he said, "Through the teeth and under the gums. Look out, Mr. Tummy, here it comes." "Now this is what I call camping," said Roxy. "A job well done, crew," said Finny. "Now we can enjoy the rest of our camp out without any further interruptions." Maya was very proud of her son. She wiped a tear from her eye and said to herself, "That's my boy." As the gang continued to enjoy their time together, unbeknownst to them, they were being watched by someone. It was the real Large Claw, though he just smiled at all the happy dogs and let them be. As the sun was setting, he walked off elsewhere into the woods, and after the sun set, all the dogs turned into their tents and went to sleep. The end.